Good morning. Well, these tech shares are hanging here, fingernail biting in this market that's putting us to sleep. Except for a few stocks that are like Tesla that are getting destroyed into the end of the year. That's an interesting level, McGraw. 38.35. Oh, for the JPM collar, December should pin around there. 38.35. All right. All right. Well, we'll see if the NASDAQ wants to go down there and touch end of year lows here. Well, whatever, yearly lows. The weekly certainly looked like it could do that a while ago. And I think if Apple breaks the lows that they're sitting on there, I think Apple at the low of the year. June, it's like right there. Yeah, it's sitting right at the low of the year. Yeah. So I mean, if Apple will drop, it's sitting right on that pivot right there. Who said looking to the left doesn't work? Look at that right there. And we didn't even have to do any FibGAN reverse projections with extensions. Yesterday, it hit the low of the year intraday and caught back up again there, $130. And Amazon, I can type. That's a new low. New low for the year. Google, getting close. All right. So where are we at here? NASDAQ hanging on the edge. S&Ps was kind of did what we thought they would do yesterday, go nowhere. And I guess, depending on how you look at it, it looks like, well, that's not a pivot because whatever, but it's close enough, like a bear flag kind of scenario, right? Momentum move lower. Thought for sure it would hit here yesterday, and it didn't. It just hung there all day. And so we got this pivot up here and pivots down there. And will it break and go down, touch that level? And Gross said 38. 38.35. Interesting number. Where's SPX? SPX. What did I do? Erase it for some reason. Yeah. Inside day yesterday. Waiting for something to move. Nothing moved all day. The numbers, and there was juice yesterday at 39.10 and 37.70. Could have done a condor, picked one or the other. Either one was fine. It didn't go anywhere. And today, Russ telling me 38.85. I suppose, but they're getting so damn tight. Yeah. 38.80. It's so close. Either way is viable. I don't think so. I mean, I'm not saying it won't work, but you're saying on this JPM trade that whatever they put on, going to pin it at 38.35. So things aren't going to move again, but I guess we'll see. But, hey, maybe we should call it a year. I don't know. Yeah. What's going to get things moving? Financials? Which doing absolutely not a thing. There's no movement there. His weekly looks like if things will get moving, would be a measured move lower. So, maybe the beginning of the year is going to be nasty. The way things came down, we talked about that a few times. That angle of retracement, and it's just doing the bearish thing of coming down, breaking all of that support, even though it's created this bottoming tail bar, this rejection down here. Maybe it's just an option related thing, an end of year thing, and it's just going to go into the end of the year in a coma. There's nothing happening. Just flip-flopping back here. I mean, if this would start to break, and look at that movement overnight, it's just moving up and up and up, and then everything just and start over again. Like a roller coaster. Yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff. Inside range bound, doing nothing. Bitcoin, maybe it's going to finally roll. Got that pivot down there. Sudden alert. Done deal. The dollar. Something must have happened in the middle of the night. I don't know what. Maybe some news overseas. It's hanging here. If Tesla can move up, that would help index a lot. Yeah. Yeah. TSLA. The volume was even bigger. Like this was the biggest volume day of the year. I was reviewing that over the weekend. And now, then this one was pretty big volume and the range contracted. And then yesterday was the, gap. And so the question is it an exhaustion gap? And maybe it needs to tag 100. There's this little pivot right there, which is kind of at 100. So that would make sense. Well, I mean, look, it's getting extended. Call it what you want. Call it climactic. It's down a whole bunch of days in a row. And, this was the range expansion bar. And that's what I wrote about in the newsletter over the weekend, thinking, hey, you know what? Short-term extended, big volume, range contraction. And I said that it's got to trade above a prior day's high to even consider. But yesterday, I typed into the chat here on the social media thing, just as we were signing off, I was like, okay, which way might it go? It was kind of hanging there. And it was like, for me, it was like, okay, if it can fill the gap and then hang there without rolling back over sharply, then I think it would have been good for the longs. And then, well, it just couldn't. And then, buyers gave it up. You see pivot low, attempt to move up, and it couldn't get going, and down it went. So now we'll see where it's at here. 110, 112, it's gapping up. Well, it's in the bottom of the daily bar. Got up to 114, but it's the start. I think I think I'll focus on this today. The futures are kind of wild. I don't think they're going anywhere, and this has the potential to have a turnaround day after this kind of decline. Right? It's a mover and shaker. Silver, dead in the water, and gold, breakout failure. Well, not completely failed, but got rejected on the move up. And what else? Kind of boring, right? And even the way things were trading was like, I don't know. I did a few things yesterday and was like, okay, this looks like it'll dive to the low of the day, and started moving lower, and it just sat there. And I was like, who the hell is buying this stuff that has no support, and it just sits there and it kind of ground its way down, and then all of a sudden it just pops back up again. So kind of tentative kind of trading action is what it is. The transport's just hanging there. You can see the topping action we covered a couple of weeks ago, and it's just sitting here doing nothing. It's like it's got to go down, but I guess end of year, institutions don't want to sell. Maybe this JPM thing, McGraw pointed out, maybe that's got a lock on things. You know what, McGraw, I think you option traders are getting a little bit too much control as what's going on in the markets. And I think I may have to call up a few regulators to slap you guys around a little bit, because I don't like what's going on lately. I don't know if they're going to listen to me. It's a little humor. But no, this has become a big thing. If you haven't, and McGraw, I haven't forgotten, next year, we promised everybody you're going to do a midday review of SPX and all the stuff that you review, and we'll have like a lunchtime review, all that stuff. It'll be interesting for everybody. Yeah. So internals are cooked enough that a rally could start, but nothing's happening here. Nothing's moving up. So that's why we say price is king. I mean, this is a guide, and sometimes it's pinpoint accurate. Like they both tagged over here, and it wound up being a grind for a while, and before things began to deteriorate. And we may have similar kind of scenario here. So even though, this is a situation where the angle of retracement is steep, it's chopping sideways at support. Maybe it'll bounce back up. We're waiting to see. But if it spikes down, when internals like this, it supports the bias that the downside would be limited before some kind of a bounce, and it could be a whipsaw if things start to break lower, which, when things aren't in alignment, it just makes things uncertain. But we'll see how it plays out. Interest rates have moved up quite a bit already and cleared these pivots. And so putting pressure on tech. Now they're down here a little bit. So maybe, if this does start to come down, maybe that Tesla and Apple and some of the others can rally a little bit today as these interest rates come down. So while that may not be very meaningful from a longer term point of view, from a day trading point of view, it's all personally I care about right now. Yeah, the price is lower than any. What is this? Sorry. Hi, I want to offer a promotion for your channel viewers. Guaranteed incredible, flexible management. Go. Somebody advertising to me. Oh. Somebody on Twitch, whatever. Twitch. All right. I don't blame somebody for trying to be an opportunist. Other than that, it's just kind of sleepy out here. What's the VIX doing? Just hanging here. All right, we talked about this down here a few weeks ago, and the markets came down, didn't and then it's kind of stalled. So we'll see what today brings. And, as something I'll keep my eyes on is these interest rates and a possible coming down, and that's supporting some tech shares, and pick whatever you want, anything that's extended, maybe, whether it's Tesla or maybe a PayPal. What's taking so long anyway? Just pick something and focus on it. Don't look at too much, and we'll see if some kind of a bottoming pattern begins to form. And I don't like that one, but you get the meaning. So NVIDIA, I think they'll come back for that. That one was getting slammed yesterday. So slowing momentum there on the hourly chart. Maybe it pops up a little bit. So I think that'll be my focus for today. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, so I was bullish for the next 3 days, provided we take out yesterday's high. And we're kind of just doing nothing here, so kind of supports the coma situation into the end. But we're in a bunch of things. A lot of things still look great if they can trigger. Now this box I've been watching for a while, it's a bull flag. Busted a move. Here's my flag pole. Here's my 30-degree counter trend, bullish weekly. I posted Tesla also based on that pre-market bullish gap, and it's already given it up. I posted 15-minute high thinking it was going to open up here. And so now based on now, that's going to be a very weak. It's only gapping up $1. So that's a very weak gap into yesterday's bar. So yeah, I would love this thing. Oh, Thane, you know what? Yeah, Thane's saying my cursor's gone. I guess so, because I'm back on my old computer because my brand new one is dead. You know what I might try though for you? I don't want to do it right now, unfortunately. I should have thought of this earlier. But I can maybe just, yeah, it's dead. It's a beat up truck. It doesn't work. But maybe what I could do is just show TradeStation only on it. So remind me around 10 o'clock, but yeah, I apologize. And I also have an old Lenovo. I can try to pull that out until I get this thing situated. So yeah, Tesla's on my watch list here today also. Let's just go through this list. Love is all over the news with their flight disaster. Nothing to do now, but if it can get down to this prior low, then it might be something. Now look at JetBlue is at the prior low. Look at that, just creamed. But look at these three tails. Three tails at major support. The selling is easing, it's stabilized. So that's a watch. All right, Snow, I had posted as a put spread, but now it's gapping down, so let's hold off on Snow. Actually, I'm going to change it to 15-minute high just so we don't get blindsided. That way, that's like, I use that term governors. I put these restrictions, and then it's not going to trigger without me having a little bit of a time to look at it. And like I said, Tesla, I had 15-minute high also, but gives me time to reassess. Tech was on my list yesterday, breakout, bullish consolidation, it's still on my list. Ogie, I think Sam found that. Starbucks, we entered yesterday, but it looks great as an ad over yesterday's high. This is right out of the MT Live that we call the turn. So that this is a multi-bar, beautiful turn. Let me put this in a window. GNRC, I posted this as a put spread. You know, this is the generator company, just been absolutely creamed. And today it got an upgrade, nice price action pre-market. So I said, let's try to sell a put on that. Oh, and if you also go look at the puts on Tesla now before the market opens and they readjust, they are insanely high. So the $100 puts that expire on Friday closed at $1.50. And so that's going to be my go-to here is when I do enter it, I'm going to sell these puts for Friday, which is, you know, 3 days from now. Delta 20 on YouTube asking about September 24 leap call. Well, Delta 20. So obviously, I'm assuming you're talking about buying. I think you got a couple problems with that. Number one, I don't buy deep in the money. Well, I do, but you're still going to be paying a ton of premium. Number two, you don't have a reversal. Number three, it's just a short-term tradable bounce. There's no reason to go out to September 24 unless you think it's a long-term bottom, which I don't know. The weekly monthlies still look horrible. And so there's a bunch of reasons. So when I get my turn, I don't mind directional and put spread, but for me, they're just, you know, bounces in a downtrend. And even if you are trying to buy a leap way out there, they're crazy expensive. So you should do a debit spread at least to make it cheaper. Jazz saying Starbucks looks like a head and shoulders. Not a quality one, no, but I see what you're kind of asking. Shoulder, head, shoulder. It's not a quality one at all. You know, we want tight shoulders. This is not a quality shoulder. This is a bullish turn after a pullback at the rising 50. You know, we've obviously done MT lives on head and shoulder patterns too. SRE, Greg mentioned yesterday, another example of the turn at the 50. Sun is a 1, 2, 3. Let me set an alarm at 43.20. Q's taking a nosedive right now. Right into the market open, 43.20. So talking about oil, look at this PSX, looks great. This looks great. I'm gonna put it here. I got Tesla on the other computer. You know, just for a pop into the void. Some beautiful W retest. Look at oil, XOP. Oops. Now look at XOP. That is a double bottom. It kind of surprises me why some people, they have such a hard time seeing double bottoms. It's a W. Momentum move up less than a third in some type of retest. And this is a W bottom, new low plus. So we're in this from yesterday, but it looks great. Let's see. This one, AFA, if it can get over yesterday's high, I like it. I'm gonna set an alarm at 1570. Alpha. GNW. That's just a strong trend. Tech, I mentioned already. MA, another example of the turn. And I see that this one I could see somebody also saying, well, damn, well, you know, this looks like a head and shoulders too. So that's an interesting discussion, actually. You know, but same answer. It's a sloppy left shoulder. It is on support, but it's a buy setup. So when does a buy setup and reversal take precedence over a head and shoulder? Well, because this is a bullish turn on support with a price void. So the answer is the bars are telling us that it's bullish. Holex alarm. Holex is good. Oh, here, were you showing me something, Greg?
I was showing you when it forms the right shoulder, which it hasn't done yet.
All right, so Holex here, my alarm went off. This is good to go, 5-minute high. Let me put this in the window. All right, MA, IBM. You know, another one making the turn, came down really hard, so I don't expect big moves on things like that, but I got better ones to look at, so I'm going to delete you. Golf Lima, we actually entered this yesterday, a bear sandwich breakout, but over yesterday's high. You can add Momo. I like yesterday's high. This is a bullish rectangle consolidation, bullish weekly, monthly. So that's good to go. Yesterday's high. KWeb. Yeah, let it, you know, it's a wider consolidation. But yeah. Nilly. Nilly, I posted as a long yesterday's high. Oh, what's going on with my trade station here? All right, so Nilly and Holex 5-minute high are both good to go. IRTC, Sam found for us. I would love an inside bar, and then we'd short that as a 1, 2, 3 tomorrow. UPS, another one trying to make the turn. You know, this one's not what we call a double bottom because the retracement's too deep, but it's what I call a bullish retest with a new low plus. I already got an alarm set up there. I think 177.70. All right, Tesla is still a dog, which is good. Good. Lower the better. So let's hold off Tesla for now. But that's showing me weakness. Poor thing gave up the pre-market gap. Yeah, and you know those were bottom fixtures pre-market. They're like, oh, I'm gonna nail the turn here. But it's definitely one that I'm gonna be watching every single day. All right, Momo triggered. Right. Yeah, I need a potent reversal, but that is steady, nasty selling. But yeah, it goes on the list. Here, look at this GNRC. I put an alarm out an order out pre-market. And it did not, um, didn't trigger yet. Let me see where the juice bar is now. But they were also very juicy for Friday. They're 88.5s. Yeah, they're spready and they suck the juice out. But if it closes strong, I'll go out to next week. And right now they're very spready, so I have to wait. All right, Tesla. No, that's not. All right, my charts were slow. All right, if it could get maybe over this pre-market, let me see what these hundreds are. The Qs and spiders. Wow, nice reversal. So far, it's only 933. Let me see what these hundreds are now on Tesla. They're cut in half. They're 83, 87. Well, a little less than half, but I'm still watching this. That's juicy as can be. Actually, I'm gonna sell the. I'm gonna sell the. All right, let's sell the 99s. 74 cents. All right, Tesla 99 puts. All right, I got filled 75. Okay, now it's 80.
Did you sell that naked, Dan?
Yeah.
Thought you're going to do a spread.
They were too expensive. I looked, but I'm giving no stop. I'm going to say I'm going to roll it.
Expiring Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's nice little turnaround. You see how quick within 3 minutes I went from canceling the trade to putting it back on.
Some might call that indecision.
Nope. I call it reacting objectively to information in real time. There's big 15-minute bars all over the place. So this could be put spread heaven for Friday. We just got to find the best looking ones. TTC up alarm. We're already in it. That's fantastic. 113.88. This was the only trade I gave on Thursday. PSX up alarm, another oil, another oil I liked. Let's see, oil, wait, but the XOP is actually down. So why is PSX strong? Hold on. See, before I enter any trade, if it's an obvious sector, like oil, I immediately just look up at the sector. TTC. $13.88. All right, that's set. Oh, PSX. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, PSX are great. Yeah. Let's buy yesterday's high. I don't think it's gonna, let me see if I can find a tighter stop than, what's today, Wednesday, then Monday's low. All right. Yeah, see, this is just a big fluid move. But it should not come down this far if it takes out 101.67. Let me give the actual number now. Let's buy over 104.79. XLP, XLE, LIH, USO. Yeah, USO is the worst. All right, I got I got PSX loaded up. I think it's fine. It's not going to trigger. On this GNRC bottom right. It's nice pre-market and opening 15-minute bar. Buyers